Finding confidence after divorce, that's a tough one. If you're like me after divorce, you may have gone into some sustained state of depression or anxiety or lethargy or not even caring. You can gain weight and kind of let yourself go. And the same happened to me. But after a while, I realized I needed to snap out of it at some point. And I thought, well, I could fix my hair and maybe lose a little weight. But there was one more thing that was really hard. I was old. In my own mind, I wasn't 20 or 30 anymore. And I had lost I hadn't lost all my looks, thank you, God, but I'd lost my youth and my suppleness. And, yes, I didn't get carded anymore when I went out. So that's something that's really hard, even if you're not divorced, even if you're happily married, a stage of realizing that the youth is gone and you're moving into old age. Who are you now? Does it really mean anything? So as part of my journey back into health, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, I asked myself 3 questions, and I want you to ask yourself the same thing. And this will help you find your confidence again after divorce. Number 1, would I marry me? That's a tough question. But there's what I do it's kind of fun, and you can even do it with your kids. We, as life coaches and relationship coaches, use a tool called a life circle. And you draw a big circle and you divide it into 6 equal parts, and you give names to those parts. They're the parts of your life: financial, career or ministry, relationships, physical health, mental and emotional health, exercise, all that stuff, your spiritual health, and your space. This is an interesting one. If I were to meet you and maybe go out on a date with you, and I walked into your house and looked around, what would I think about you by looking at your environment? The physical space that we live in, our house, our car, our yard, really reflects who we are. It should be ordered, not cluttered, clean and beautiful in some fashion, and calm and inviting. So these are the areas of life that you can take a look at and say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 would be exactly what I want to be in these areas. Where am I now? Maybe you're a 5, maybe you're a 2, maybe you're an 8 or 9 and you're doing great. But would I marry me is a question where you can go and then take an inventory of who you are and what you have to offer to the world. Not just the negative, not just the things that need to be fixed, but all the wisdom you've earned, all the gifts and talents you have, the piece about who you are that you bring to the world and bring to a conversation. So if you need help with this, get a therapist or a good friend who will be honest with you, or a life coach, and answer that question. Would I marry me? And hopefully at the end of that exercise, you will go, yes, I totally would. Okay, number 2. And then again, this is to help you with your confidence. What one physical feature would I like to change? Now, if it's a big giant nose and you can't afford nose surgery, that's kind of off the table. But you can work on the things that you can work on, get a new hairstyle, change your makeup. These are things that don't cost very much. Change your wardrobe. And again, in all 3 of these questions, I'm going to ask you to go to somebody in your circle, your family or your friends, and somebody who will be brutally honest with you. Yes, you do look fat in that dress. Or no, you look like an old geezer in that members only jacket from the 1980s. Get rid of it. So, what's a physical feature? Is it your outfit, your makeup, your hair? Maybe you want to get your teeth fixed. I don't know. But maybe you look okay. Maybe you look fine. And maybe this is a question you're going to ask, and you look in the mirror and go, you know what? For my age, I look pretty good and I feel pretty good. So you can just tick that off the list. So number 3. Now, be courageous with this one. Go to your friends, closest friends, and say, what do you think about me as a potential date or a potential spouse? Be honest. Well, I think you're a good person with a good heart. You take your faith seriously, but you talk a lot. I never, don't get hurt when I say this, that's the kind of friend you want. You talk a lot, or you never talk, or you're fixated on this, or all you can talk about is religion and you can't talk about anything else. So I don't know what it is with you, but if you suspect there's anything that needs a little balance and a little order, go to trusted family and friends, and go to more to one if you can, if you have the courage to do that. So remember, in general, your confidence begins with the outside, because that's what people see, okay? And then your environment, that's what people see. Create something that is beautiful and interesting and safe and warm and welcome, so that people will want to then enter into your heart, into conversation, and into your mind to get to know you. That's where the real beauty, and that's where I know all the goods really are. So I hope this video has helped. We have a lot more content for older Catholic singles on our website, CatholicMatch.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at CatholicMatch. And please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CatholicMatch, all one word. Get back out there and enjoy it.